You know goddamn well that lady crazy and got the propensity to swallow a doll. Why the hell would you bring up her love life knowing that her lover is in the wings with red, watery eyes? Arsenio ain't shit. Troublemaking hoe.
I don't hear nobody out there. Hold it down. Hold it down.
Hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and tip your favorite narrator at $NayRob on YouTube via Cash App. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. Now, let's continue reading, y'all. We wrapping this up. I think we'll be done by Friday, okay? Now, let's finish talking about Strength of a Woman, the Phyllis Hyman story.
So I'm trying to make the baby take a nap. So if you hear some crazy shiz going on in the background, it's the baby. Lulu is napping. He's trying to nap because the baby done wore him out. They've been playing all afternoon. You know how it is. Forgive me if you hear some grunts or some snoring or some licking. It's just the boys. Phyllis had recently begun seeing yet another younger man, J. Love, whom she met through one of the actors in her Living in Confusion video. But she was also still involved with Martha David, who was again acting as her personal assistant and accompanying her on the road. Didn't we say earlier that this ain't nothing but another Robin Crawford? She's sitting back watching her lover randomly just having affairs with different young men. You know how hard that is and pressed that is? I'm about to watch you fug around on me. But then in situations like Martha, which one of you, by the way, told me Martha eventually married Glenda, you know, that's her other assistant. Okay, or her, I forgot what Glenda's job was, but it was to take care of Phyllis Hyman. So ain't that a mess? They probably sitting around right now talking about how crazy that bitch was. To me, it's like you have that much love for a person that you will watch them go up and down through triumphs and failures while watching them hunch on another man. But she was also still involved with Martha David, who was again acting as her personal assistant and accompanying her on the road. Things with our relationship were disintegrating at that point and had been on and off for a while, Martha recalled. There were periods of our relationship that were monogamous and periods that were not. It was tumultuous. It wasn't always a healthy relationship. Yet the love and attachment between us, I felt, always remained. But there was a lot going on at times that wasn't good. As long as Martha remained close by, though, the relationship would continue in one form or another. Having accompanied Phyllis to the Arsenio taping, Martha feared that the new man in Phyllis's life might find his way into the on-air conversation. In the dressing room before the show, Martha shared her concern with Phyllis. I brought it up that it bothered me that she probably was going to talk about Jay on the show, Martha recalled. After our having been together for such a long time and considering the depth of our relationship and everything that had gone on between us, the whole thing just galled me a bit. It just felt so unfair. I knew things with Jay were still very new and pretty superficial. Man, I appreciate Martha saying, okay, this is a problem to me. I want you to respect my feelings and not talk about this new nigga on the show, especially considering that I've been here the whole time. That's right, Lulu. Robin Crawford's book was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, but it sounds just like this. Phyllis didn't care for being told what she could and could not talk about. Though when things got a little out of control backstage, she got very angry. And we had a fight about it before the taping, Martha said. On Arsenio's couch, Phyllis did, in fact, talk about Jay when the host inquired about her love life. We went out and he had a limousine and he bought me a little black teddy bear and he had a bottle of champagne. Pause in the drawers. Arsenio, you dead wrong for that, brother. You know goddamn well that lady crazy and got the propensity to swallow a doll. Why the hell would you bring up her love life knowing that her lover is in the wings with red, watery eyes? Arsenio ain't shit. Troublemaking hoe. We went out and he had a limousine and he bought me a little black teddy bear and he had a bottle of champagne. That's probably the only thing he bought her. So I decided to go on a, what do you call it, a double date. See, I didn't do these things when I was young, girls. I didn't go to the prom. I didn't do any of that stuff. So I'm old and I'm doing it all now. I liked him, Phyllis continued. He was fun. He's young, a lot younger than me. I don't like nothing old but money. He's 25, owns a restaurant, black. What more could I ask for? Remarks such as these made Martha, who was standing backstage, cringe. She felt a special bond with Phyllis, and this line of conversation seemed an affront to it. Martha knew to be involved with Phyllis, she would have to make certain concessions. But she also hoped that Phyllis would make some too. I didn't expect ever that she should mention me, said Martha. But that perhaps out of respect for me, she might not have mentioned him. So pause in the drawers. We're talking about the Arsenio Hall show, right? And Arsenio is during the time that people are not jumping out the closet. Hey, I'm gay. I'm not doing it. See, I'm an old gay. Okay. The only reason why I'm a new gay is because I'm down here in Atlanta, the city of gay. To me, you're almost outnumbered down here with the gays. The gays almost outnumber you. Some of you women that's married to the men, your man is gay too. It's not something that you jump out there and say, especially as a Gen Xer. So I don't expect for her to talk about her woman or her lady friend on the Arsenio Hall couch. Because wasn't nobody doing that then. Maybe 2% of the gays was saying that they had lovers or, gay people. Or they were gay. You know what I'm saying? 2%. But I didn't expect for her to do it. What I do expect is for her to subtly mention it. Yes, I do have a lover. Very special. Very, very special. Then that way, it's like not pinpointing a specific person. Then that way, both people can imagine that you're talking about both of them. So when you see Jay gonna be like, oh, thank you, baby, for talking about me. And when you see Martha gonna be like, oh, thank you, baby, for talking about me. You don't never break that shit down. Because you asking for problems, but Phyllis, she old witch. Not that she can't sing, but this right here, that's not nice, Phyllis. That's not nice. Remarks such as these made Martha, who was standing backstage, cringe. She felt a special bond with Phyllis, and this line of conversation seemed an affront to it. Martha knew to be involved with Phyllis, she would have to make certain concessions. But she also hoped that Phyllis would make some too. I didn't expect ever that she should mention me, said Martha. But that perhaps out of respect for me, she might not have to mention him. After the taping, the argument between Phyllis and Martha continued. Glenda tried to de-escalate the situation with limited success. You know what I believe? That goddamn Martha and Glenda got together because of trauma bonding. How that damn Phyllis Hyman was so toxic to both of them, only each other could understand and sit down and hold hands and cry. We cried together. That's what them bitches did. That's why they ended up getting murdered. Ooh, y'all, do y'all remember when Whitney Houston was on Arsenio Hall showing her ass? You know, Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy at the time were really good friends. Okay, so this what happened, y'all. Arsenio Hall had his good friend Eddie Murphy on the couch. This is after the Coming to America 1 movie came out. Them two was on fire. You hear me? Honey Child and Arsenio brung out Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston, trying to make Eddie Murphy jealous, sat on Arsenio Hall's lap. Remember in the Robin Crawford book how she explained that Whitney Houston really, really liked Eddie Murphy, but he was just carrying her? He was doing things like buying her big, juicy, expensive rings and then standing her up. Oh, had that girl in tears. And Robin Crawford was just watching her lover cry over a piece of dick. Oh my God. If y'all ain't read that Robin Crawford book, bitch, you better. Or at least go to my playlist of it. Because, girl, it was good. Though she understood why Phyllis had done it, Martha could not help but feel slighted. Phyllis had failed her once again, treated her as less than. But treating someone badly was not an indication from Phyllis that she had no genuine feelings for that person. Indeed, the opposite was often true. Those closest to Phyllis often got the brunt of her bad temper, and Martha, like all those who traveled with Phyllis, was a convenient punching bag. I think Martha just kind of took all that with a grain of salt, recalled Terry Burris. You know, Terry Burris, I think, is the musical director. It just went in one ear and out the other. She was just there for Phyllis. She was at her beck and call. I think she took more abuse. But when you become that close to Phyllis as a personal assistant, Phyllis turns on this abuse button. It's just like a natural thing for her. If she had a bad day, she's going to take it out on the person that's closest to her. And that was usually her personal assistant. You know them damn cancers just be mean. Okay, now we know she got mental health issues, but outside of that, them cancers be mean as shit. If she had a bad day, she's going to take it out on the person that's closest to her. And that was usually her personal assistant. So that's what they went through. But they became lovers, and they did love each other. Phyllis loved Martha, and vice versa. Knowing a bit about how Phyllis operated helped Martha to hold on when Phyllis's temper flared. Phyllis was very loving towards me, treated me very, very well, respected me, trusted me, and relied on me to take care of her, said Martha. If I had felt that Phyllis didn't deep down really love me and trust me, I wouldn't have stayed. As much as anyone could, I felt understood her, as did all the other people in her life who stayed by her side. With Phyllis, you had to take the good with the bad. I knew no one could help her change and heal until she was ready. The only other option was to leave. I loved her very much, and I chose to stay and make the best of it for her and for myself for as long as I felt I should. On God, y'all, that's the way I feel about my wife. There are times, I swear to God, I look at her and I be like, this bitch don't deserve me. Okay? But I just love her very, 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 very much. Martha was smart enough to realize that the outburst had little to do with how Phyllis truly felt about her. To stand close to Phyllis was to stand close to a flame, and you had to be prepared for it to flare up at any moment. On the road, Phyllis generally played to smaller theaters and clubs like the Blue Note in New York and Blues Alley in DC. And while by her own admission she preferred these types of venues where she was able to see the people and put them in the act, the type of extended engagements she would enter into with them, often doing 2 shows nightly for a week or longer, could be grueling. Grueling meaning it was times that Phyllis lost her shiz in front of people. She's so out of pocket that she's showing flaws in front of people. Bitch, your slip is showing. For her 43rd birthday in July, Jay threw Phyllis a birthday party with the help of her staff.
Hollywood, lovely white light.